Hi, and welcome to yet another amateur review of yet another watch. Anyway, before I start this review, I'm saying it's not new Citizen. I've had it for a few months now. It's just something I'd like to review because it's I like it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I've got as you probably realised, quite an obsession with watches. I love them. I find them exquisite. I love a brand new watch. I love the feeling of a brand new watch coming out of a box that's cold on your wrist and setting the hands, pulling the stickers off and what have you. It seems to be in the blood. My brother's exactly the same. His tastes are a lot more expensive than mine, and his watches are also a lot more expensive than mine. I think we get it from our father, who is a horologist, which really doesn't help. So we were kind of brought up with clocks and watches all over the house. He was a bit of an amateur antiques dealer too. So, we just have a fascination for those things. Didn't rub off on my sister, but then, I'm sure she was playing with dollies and probably listened to Meatloaf. Anyway, so without further ado, that's a little bit about my background. I would like to review this. I think this watch is now, it's about 8 months old. I bought it, my mother gave me some money for my 50th birthday, and I decided to treat myself to my very first gold watch. So in the box I have the Citizen chronograph. It's a Eco Drive watch, solar powered, which is a great thing to have because it's just 10 minutes sat on the windowsill, and you don't have to put a new battery in it. Apparently the cells need to be replaced about every 10 years, but the amount I use this watch, I should imagine for me I'll probably be long gone by the time I have to replace the battery. Probably outlive me. Anyway, this is the Citizen CA4213-ODE Eco Drive chronograph. It again come from a local jeweller's in town. It cost £240, but I do believe you can actually buy it for quite a lot cheaper than that. But I like the jewellers, Goldsmiths and Ernest Jones in the town. Fantastic. So yeah, I don't mind spending the money. I get the service, and that's kind of what I enjoy. For me, it's part of that, and I live in the two jewellers, as you can probably understand already. Anyway, without further ado, let's have a look. So take it out of the box. Let's just push the box back a bit and put this as kind of, it's like a metal folding, I don't know what you call it actually, stand that the watch sits in inside the box, and here it is. So we have it's actually called rose gold in the catalogue, but I'd say that's not really a rose gold. I'd say that's probably just a gold. It's almost kind of like an old-fashioned kind of ring gold, if you like. But yeah, it's lovely. I like the fact that most of the outer ring of the dial is black, and then you go to the inner rim and it's actually, I think it's sort of grey, but it's really, weirdly enough, in the daylight it's got kind of like almost like a purple tint to it, which is, I think, really quite nice. Anyway, it's a standard chronograph. You have the date feature is just down at the 20, which is quite tiny, and if I was to kind of criticise the watch, I'd say that's probably my only criticism, with it being that small. I'll bring it closer to the camera. There we go. With it being that small, is it really worth it? And I actually had the watch for probably 6 months before I noticed it had a date feature. So anyway, turn the watch onto the side, and you've got this kind of oversized crown, but it's quite cool. It's nicely turned. It's a very shiny watch. I quite like that. Very thick leather strap with a sort of contrasting stitching of kind of like an off cream, like a white colour. You got the Citizen logo on the clasp, or the buckle, shall I say. It's all stainless steel. And then we'll bring the watch up to I'll turn it over again, as most of my reviews I get the wrong side. So we've got Citizen Eco Drive. I do believe it's 100 metres waterproof, but I'd never take it in the water anyway because I'd probably ruin the strap. The strap is, it says genuine leather. just on there, and it's stamped with Citizen, and it's quite a nice strap actually. I sort of expect this kind of strap on a much more expensive upmarket kind of luxury watch. So it's, you know, £250 or £239.99 is quite a lot of money, but I think the strap probably exceeds the watch as far as the money is concerned. However, the watch itself I think is lovely. It's not heavy. It feels solid and well made. It's great quality. I know I've come to really like Citizen now, so I'd say it's pretty good quality. It's comfortable on the wrist. It's quite big. I think the case is kind of pushing the 45, possibly even sort of towards 50 millimeters. The strap, as I go back to the strap, it is very, very thick leather. I'm not sure if it's coated and sort of coated with leather, but I just love the strap. I think that's a really nice feature about this watch. Like I say, the watch itself is quite large, but it's easy to read. I love the gold. Like I say, I've had it for more than 6 months now, I think, and it doesn't seem to have scratched at all. I've worn the watch quite a lot. It doesn't seem to have, you know, faded. I guess that's a bit too early for that, and in time maybe it will. But even sort of looking at the side of the case there, it just doesn't seem to have a single mark on it. Not that I wear it on a building site, as you know, but yeah, it's very, very good quality. So, it comes in quite a nice box. I think maybe Citizen could, you know, improve that slightly at a watch for that kind of price, because I expect that a watch of this price to probably sort of have a little bit more of a luxurious box. This box, as you can see here, I would say is probably the sort of thing I'd expect for a Casio G-Shock or something. But you know, it's adequate. I'd give it sort of 7 or 8 out of 10, so it's not too bad. Going back to the watch, like I say, I love the colour. I like the fact it's very glossy gold. I wasn't a big fan of gold watches, but they're very, very fashionable now. And I must admit, I'm more of a smaller watch person, but I don't know, this one just looks really nice. It's very eye-catching. I actually wore it to my wedding, and a lot of people ask me about it. I think because it's gold and shiny, it kind of stands out a bit. I guess it's a bit of a magpie's dream. So anyway, enough of my my nonsense and waffling. So that's the Citizen Eco Drive. I do believe it's actually called the Avion chronograph. So obviously it's an aviator watch. Again, £240 from Goldsmiths. I know you can pick it up a lot cheaper. I know also they do a stainless steel version. They do a black dialed with red digits version, and now they've just recently released a blue version with stainless steel, but it's very, very eye-catching. So yeah, like I say, it's a very nice watch. I guess you probably realise from my other reviews that I don't really have bad things to say about the watches, because I spend a lot of time online researching these things, and I'm sure they're not to everybody's taste, but I will only buy a watch that I know I like already, and as soon as I pick it up in the jewellers or, you know, any shop where I get it from, straight away I know if it's a watch I want and it's a watch I want to wear. So I'm not going to heavily criticise any watch that I look at or any watch that I review. Otherwise, I simply wouldn't buy it. So that kind of says a little bit about why my reviews are always kind of, you know, positive, if you like. And also, you know, there's enough negativity about things. I'm not going to criticise things. I love my watches. It's a passion of mine, and I think it would spoil it if I bought something and just moaned about it. Anyway, enough of my rambling. That is the Citizen Avion chronograph. Again, thank you for listening. Again, thank you for your kind comments on my reviews. Nick the Amateur Watch Reviewer, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.